Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. So guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to be answering a good question that I get asked from one of my subscribers on the role of yoga in the treatment of eating disorders. Because I actually do a bit of yoga of myself, and I have done in the past, and it's been used quite prevalently in eating disorder recovery, and it is showing great rates. So like I say, I've written this all down on my laptop, so please bear with me and I've followed this through. So like I say, sometimes we don't understand just how much obviously tension we carry inside ourselves until we make the moment to leap and surrender. Basically as well, I say an increasing number of men and women obviously are struggling with an unhealthy relationship with food. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, eating disorders characterised by extreme emotions, attitudes and behaviour surrounding weight and food are a daily struggle for over 20 million females and 10 million males in the United States as well. So this is not obviously showing about the UK. They've not actually publicised exactly how many, but this is showing for the US. Let's say anorexia nervosa is the highest mortality rate of any mental illness beyond anorexia, bulimia and binge eating disorder. Millions struggle with a wide spectrum of exercise issues and disordered eating, defined by National Eating Disorder Collaboration as a disturbed and unhealthy eating pattern that can include restrictive dieting, compulsive eating or skipping meals. According to a study conducted by the National Eating Disorder Association, 4 out of 10 individuals have either personally experienced an eating disorder or know someone who has. Let's say characterised by an extremely high relapse rate, eating disorders are obviously associated with stigma and shame of denial of the illness in obviously the first place. So like I say, we don't accept we've got an eating disorder. We're scared about how public will accept us if we speak out, especially males, because obviously the stigma is being surrounded as a female illness. So like I say, obviously all of which can be barriers to getting obviously proper treatment as well. Additionally, like I say, our culture's emphasising on the normalisation and even celebrating this perfect body type, weight loss and obviously dieting are obviously reinforcing the dysfunctional relationships to obviously our food. Let's say yoga therapy is now being used in eating disorder treatment centres across the country and many countries worldwide, as yoga provides an obviously integrative approach to mental health, emotional and obviously physical well-being. The practice obviously of moving consciously from the inside out can obviously have a profound impact on someone that's obviously struggling with body image and body awareness, as basically we tend to avoid being present, if you can imagine it. Yoga has been shown to obviously help relieve depression, anger and anxiety, and obviously promote self-esteem and body image through the cultivation of non-judgment, confidence and obviously self-acceptance. What I've found is a regular yoga practice can obviously help rebuild strength and obviously bone density, especially for things like osteoporosis, which is really prevalent in obviously eating disorders when you've been restricting for a long time. Like I say, it's basically damaged through like loss with anorexia and things. So like I say, how do eating disorders and yoga philosophy connect? Like I say, in order to allow the mind to rule choices about food, body and weight, as obviously we all do with eating disorders, it becomes necessary to disconnect the mind from the needs of the physical body. Often those as affected by eating disorders will completely detach from their identity or values outside of the eating disorder itself. So basically we feel that we are our eating disorder and are defined by them. So like I say, weight and body image become paramount to anything else and anybody else. We basically become self-absorbed, and it's like a selfishness really in quite a lot of ways. Like I say, this type of behaviour is seen as an act of basically a violence perpetuated by the illusion that reaching a certain weight will provide a sense of control or happiness. Basically what eating disorder lies to us and says, oh, if you reach this certain number you're going to be very happy. But you know, once you get to that eating disordered weight, that tells you that it's going to make you happy. You feel even worse about yourself. You hate yourself more and more and more. And this is what a lot of people don't understand about eating disorders. We don't love the way we are. It makes you feel more and more depressed. A starved body is a starved mind, and this is the kind of thing that your eating disorder perpetuates. It thrives on numbers. And no number on a scale or anything is ever going to make you happy. The only thing that you can make yourself happy and enjoying life is by choosing recovery. So like I say, it basically tells you such and such to say, once I lose 10 pounds, I'll be happy, which is of course an absolute illusion, because after the 10 pounds comes off, it becomes 12, 15, so on and so on. And like I say, in stark contrast to this type of aggressive control of the body, yoga teaches us to develop an awareness, an authentic self beyond the physical body. In fact, the physical body in yoga is considered a temporary vehicle for the spirit, and becomes a lens through which to stay curious about how we act in other parts of our life. For instance, it can be holding an uncomfortable posture when the instinct is to escape, to notice what happens mentally when we encounter a challenging situation, or begin to feel anxious when we're on the yoga mat. Let's say yoga philosophy also provides us with the value of ahimsa, the practice of non-violence. So that's basically what ahimsa means, towards ourselves, our body, and obviously others. The practice of meditation, like I say, another aspect of the yoga practice, allows for the development of witness consciousness, which basically creating separate space between the observer and our mind, the thoughts that arise, and obviously our own actions about ourselves and others. Like I say, people with eating disorders and destructive food behaviours are in constant state of physiological stress. Like I say, many medical consequences, including things like loss of bone density, heart muscle, deterioration, a heightened level of adrenaline, which is basically like a surge of energy. The body's hormone responsible for the obviously our flight or flight response when obviously survival is threatened. Like I say, studies on mindfulness have shown that both meditation and obviously breath work reduce the body's physiological nervous system activation and increased activity in the area of the brain responsible for confidence, emotion regulation, and obviously mental flexibility. Like I say, it's interesting that studies in yoga's therapeutic effects in general population have shown levels of stress, such as learning to stay in an uncomfortable posture, is correlated to obviously overall well-being and quality of life. So like I say as well, obviously yoga and eating disorder recovery, obviously it's been shown efficiency as a treatment for obviously asthma as well, depression and anxiety. Like I say, researching the effects of yoga specifically in the treatment of eating disorders is obviously still limited, but it has been shown to really help quite a few people, and I can say that it's really benefited me in the past, especially taking away the stress of life and basically getting yourself into that kind of mindfulness. Let's say one of the reasons for the lack of studies within the population is a high comorbidity rate between eating disorders and other mental illnesses such as anxiety, depression, and obviously some obsessive compulsive disorder. So like I say guys, I hope you have liked this video. I really love touching upon the things that you guys ask. If you would like any more, please let me know. And if you would like eating disorder videos and spirituality videos done in a podcast type video, please let me know and I'll do them for you as well. And remember, the little guy in the end of the video says he knows best, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Love you so much. Remember guys, binge on life, purge negativity and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon and love you so much.